guys, it's Helly and you're about to watch my vlog of a 24-hour readathon that I did last week. I hope that you enjoyed this vlog. I read almost 4 books during this readathon and you're going to be seeing me while I am at it. The books that I read were number 1, Attitude is Everything. This was a non-fiction that I really liked, but I thought that there can be better books than this regarding attitude. I also teach you how to make best use of non-fiction books inside the video, so maybe you should check it out. Next, I picked up a book, actually finished a book that was remaining, like 25% of it was remaining. And this book was What We Talk About When We Talk About Love, which is a collection of short stories, and that was also pretty amazing. I finished 50% of a book about logic, which was a graphic guide, and inside the video I'll share a few more things about the book that I think you guys might like. I also finished reading a book which was a Korean book. It's called Kim Ji-young, born 1982, and it was a pretty amazing book about sexism that women encounter on a daily basis. And lastly, I finished reading a book which was once again a philosophy book, and this is a book about Kierkegaard. I hope that you guys like the vlog. I hope that you guys like my picks, and overall, yeah, I hope that you enjoy the vlog. So yeah, let's get into it. So guys, it's 9:15 and I'm gonna start reading the first book today. So it's a non-fiction. By the way, I'm still kind of sleepy, so pardon me if my tongue gets tired or something. But the book that I'm reading is Attitude is Everything. This is a book about how you can be more positive. I picked this book up because right now, that's what I need the most. I'm feeling extremely anxious these days about what lies ahead, when will I graduate, how will work go after this pandemic blows over, and it's pretty worrisome. By the way, if you want to listen to this or other audiobooks, a free trial of Storytel, www.storytel.com/Helly will be in the description below. This will give you a free trial. Now, coming to this non-fiction reading thing, whenever I read non-fiction, I have a diary where I summarize whatever I'm reading. So this is the summary of Speed Reading Secrets. I have already made a video on that. Sometimes I just summarize stuff without writing the book name, but please pardon me. This is a book called Madam Chic, by the way, I remember. Here's a book on here's a summary of what the most successful people do before breakfast. A summary of the book Minimalism. So this is something that I highly suggest you guys do as well while you're reading non-fiction. Most of us, we read non-fiction to improve ourselves and we learn a lot from it. But if you forget what you learned, that doesn't help you. So make sure that you have a diary. You can also write it down digitally, but in this case I really suggest like the old school, putting pen to paper. And yeah, without any further ado, I'll start reading this book right now.
Stage was the real Zig Ziglar. In fact, I can't remember ever seeing him when he was not happy and upbeat. This verse of what he said had truth glued all over it. If you lose your health, you lose everything. It doesn't matter how rich you are. It doesn't even matter if you have a Barbie dream house, or a mansion, a yacht, or a new Rolls Royce.
About 15 minutes to 11 and I have finished reading Attitude is Everything, and I kind of liked it. It was a very simple read though. I think Jeff Keller's book might be better. I have not read that completely either yet, so I can't comment, but I will suggest this book anyway if you want to read something in the non-fiction genre. And now I'll be moving on to finish reading this particular book, which is Raymond Carver's collection of short stories, What We Talk About When We Talk About Love. It's a collection of American short stories, and he's apparently one of the best short story writers of America. I have finished reading almost 75% of this book already previously, but somehow I missed a few stories, and I think now is a good time to completely finish reading this particular book. I highly suggest his books for anyone who's fond of reading short stories. it's about 1:45 and I finished reading this book. So I have finished reading technically 1.5 books, or rather 1.25 books so far. The next book that I picked up is this book called Logic, which is a graphic guide, and it's available on Kindle and Kindle Unlimited and Prime Reading if you're a subscriber. So I picked this up because I love graphic guides and I would have loved reading something about logic. And this book is very interesting. It is making me think very hard, and I think I should take more time reading this. I am at about 32% of this book right now, and it's very interesting. As you can see, these illustrations are very beautiful and the ideas are expressed in very simple terms. Like the Wittgenstein's table of logical connectives is like explained in very simple, like 4 or 5 lines. And here are the truth tables. And I don't think you guys can understand majority of it as long as you don't read the books. But I highly suggest you do. But otherwise also you can check out YouTube videos and stuff if you want to check stuff out. I guess I'm gonna continue reading. 4:30 p.m. right now. I kind of took a break from the book about logic at when I was about 40% of that book, because it was really too much to take and I didn't want to just read it. I wanted to understand it as well. So I started reading another book which is called Kim Ji-young by Cho Namjoo. This is a Korean book. So I'm listening to this book on Storytel, and this is a book about a woman named Kim Ji-young. She was born in 1982, and this is a very famous Korean book. So those of you who are fans of Asian literature or K-pop, I'm pretty sure you're gonna enjoy it. Now what happens in this book is that it is sort of like a satire on the sexism that women encounter daily in the streets of Korea, but also like in general. Okay, so there's this part that I've reached. Ji-young is in school. There's a boy who really picks on her all the time, and one day the teacher starts scolding her for something that she hasn't even done, but it was rather the boy. Later she realizes that it was that boy's mistake, so she kind of apologizes to Ji-young, but she also tells her that boys are mean to girls that they like, which doesn't make sense to Ji-young, because aren't you supposed to be nicer to people you love? Because we are nicer to family, friends and people we like in general. And this is one of those first instances that we encounter where we start confusing love and abuse, and we start having this idea that if someone is mean to us, if someone is behaving badly with us, they may like us, which is like a very effed up idea to be honest. But we do like have these ideas from movies and real life as well. So that's something that I found very interesting. There's a movie that has been released, by the way, about this novel, and there are a lot of couples who have broken up over the movie. So maybe you should read this book and watch the movie. I'm gonna continue listening right now, and
some of the less well-behaved girls.
So it's 8:45. I just finished reading this book and it was pretty amazing. I will talk more about it at the end of today's video, but right now I really want to rest a little bit because I've been studying, or rather reading, with a lot of attention, and I really need some break. It's 10 p.m. right now, and I finished the book on logic at about 52%. I'm again taking a break from that one. I don't think a book about logic is something that I want to read at a stretch. So I shifted to a different book, and this is a book on philosophy, on Kierkegaard, from the same publisher. This is also a graphic guide. I think Kierkegaard is, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but his figure has been extremely interesting. I've seen a few videos and learned a few of the basic principles proposed by him. And yeah, I think that this particular book is gonna give me a better idea about who he was and what contributions he has made in the field of philosophy. So it's about 10 in the morning and I finished reading Kierkegaard's book. So turns out that I didn't really finish as many books that I would have liked to. I didn't finish the book on logic completely, but I think that was a good decision to make here because it was a very intense book to read. I didn't like the graphic guide for Kierkegaard that much, to be honest, because I have been exploring this other series of illustrated books about concepts called For Beginners series, and that was easier for me as a beginner. I felt that it was more well illustrated and more well described in those books, but this book was decent as well. If you want to know more about philosophy, you can check it out. For Beginners series is not available for free, for example. This one is if you have a Kindle Unlimited or a Prime Reading subscription, so maybe you can check it out. I will put up this vlog very soon. I could not shoot a lot of incidents that were happening in the between because everyone is at home right now and it's really uncomfortable for me to shoot. And yeah, let me know if you also participated in this 24-hour readathon. I hope that you did, and yeah, I'll be back with another video next week. Till then, bye.